I promised myself I wouldn't rush into anything, and that's the boat that I could rush into. It's just so solid, it's just a big lump of fiberglass with a big Perkins 4108 in it. Westerly 33, 15k it's up for. Yeah, my old friend, how are you doing? Now following Keith down to Cardiff Bay Yacht Club, where there's a Sparkman and Stevens 42 footer priced at £30,000. So this is going to be the opposite pretty much of what I've just looked at. This is going to show me what I can get for 30k, which is outside of my budget. It looks pretty much ready to go. So it will be interesting to see what it's like and whether it's worth getting a project or maybe getting something like this. Okay, there we go. Sparkman and Stevens 42. Isn't she a beauty? She's got the bathroom blue deck. I love this poop deck. Permission to board?
Yeah, come on, jump on.
Nice.
What's your name?
Mark.
Mark, okay, Mark's Kevin, that's Penny, me better half, yeah?
Nice.
Yeah, come and jump in.
Cool. So how long have you had her?
Oh, just over 10 years.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I had it all coded and that, I used to do that sort of thing with it. And,
oh, okay.
Yeah, it's, yes. Come, yeah, jump in.
Nice. What engine have you got?
That's Perkins, I'll show you. There's no keel bolts or nothing like that to...
Is it all encapsulated?
Yes, yeah, the whole thing is, I mean, yeah, the hull itself's about 22mm thick, and I put a bell thruster in it.
Right.
You know, it's a bit of a handful of single-handed.
So basically you've got a pilot house there, you've got your, I don't know, what do you call it, like, love it.
No, not really. It'll be all right.
Here's your heads. And your forward cabin, yeah. But this is not the best bedroom, I think. We'll see. The aft cabin is lovely in this. So the owner's given me permission just to have a little look around, just seeing little signs for seacock and all that. Have a little pokey. So we've got a bilge pump which isn't hooked up, a seacock there for the toilet, I think. But yeah, you have to look out for stuff like this. There's a bit of water that's probably come from probably up there, maybe behind those boards, but you can't really start unscrewing boards and stuff. When I get my boat, I'm not going to get a surveyor again. I've never had a surveyor. I don't really think, I mean, it's good for insurance, but third party is absolutely fine. I've got a book which I'll show you guys actually, inspecting the aging sailboat. It's got loads of really useful stuff in there. I'll break that out later. I just do all the inspections myself and comparing it to the last two boats that I've had. So far this one looks good, but I'll try and see some of the main bulkheads and see how they are. But yeah, Sparkman and Stevens, very thick hulls. So you've got your pilot house out there, you come down into this area, loads of space for lounging about. Kev, the owner, was just telling me he's put a bow thruster in it, which is super useful. I will miss that about the catamaran. The manoeuvrability of it in a marina was just so amazing. So a bow thruster is nice to have. Let's have another little look around the pilot house.
That's only a monochrome radar, okay. but if it does, it all works and all that. And
can't really see. Yeah, I had a radar in the last boat. I'd never really used it, but
no, there's a couple of compasses, obviously. You know, there's another one down over the chart table. There's a hand-bearing compass.
Yeah.
There. So it's got lots of bits and pieces. You know.
Yeah. So loads of paperwork.
Oh yeah, well yeah, this is all the coding stuff, all the certificates and...
What year is it?
76 or...
76.
It was Sparkman and Stevens design, built in Durban. So it's just get out of
So this, the aft cabin, little nav station as well. I mean, as a look at this, amazing, amazing. It's a proper little pirate ship. It reminds me a lot of the Trintella actually, and it's like a separate aft cabin, but because the pilot house is so protected, it doesn't feel like an aft cabin. It's all enclosed, and I do like that. I'm not sure if I'll have time to like fully check things like bulkheads and bilges and stuff. Kev's got loads of paperwork, just flicking through it. It's got surveys. In fact, it's actually registered. You can actually use it as a commercial vessel, which is very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Then it becomes more like an investment as opposed to a house. You can actually make money from it. The bad news is it's actually under offer now. I'd have to move really quickly if I was to go for this. We'll have to see. I think it just needs a clean up. It just needs a good clean and painting and lovely. So we've got another what? Ah, okay. Yeah, Kev was just saying he was going to put a shower in here, which would be amazing, and potential for another toilet as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's the outside, out of the water view.
Ah, okay. So it's long
Yes, long
keel.
keel. Yes, yes.
Nice, good for offshore.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It looks after itself as well. You can just leave the helm and
It tracks really well. Yeah.
Well, more so when you've got the mizzen sail up, like just using the foresails or anything, it's a little bit different, but
Yeah.
when it's all balanced, nice, just leave the helm and it'll look after itself. Yeah.
Having a pilot house and like you being so enclosed, you want it to do as little work on deck as possible.
That's what just gin and tonic. Absolutely fantastic. That's the freezer. Nice. That is, in case you're wondering what that box is there.
Nice.
And that's just a table inside the cockpit. You take that pole out there, poke it in there, just a bunch of things around.
Yeah.
Around the table.
Test. Oh, the tapping test. Yeah, it feels really solid underfoot, no sponginess. Built like a brick house. Flipping heck. So the mizzen rigging looks pretty fresh actually. It looks like it's been replaced recently. No solar, but got a wind jenny and also a petrol generator as well. I just love the booty on this thing, absolutely amazing. The rigging on the mizzen on Minky was terrible, but it was fine in some pretty heavy weather. And also this mizzen bends forward a little bit, but with it being a ketch. And just tighten the backstay or loosen the wire in between, should be right. Quite a thin mizzen, but yeah. With ketches, I don't mind them. I quite like the ease of them. You stick your mizzen up and you get your jib out in really nasty weather, or if you reef every sail, it's actually really well balanced. It's just a lot of work. Single-handed as well is not as fun. Spreader roots look like they need a bit of work there. I love this pilot house. You've got all this dirty looking green stuff, which I absolutely love, because you power wash that deck. Needs a bit of painting. Obviously you can't really see the condition of the diesel in the tanks. Got a barrel there. Not sure what that's for.
Interesting. Look at that winch. Lumar. So the mast is riveted together in two halves. I've never really seen that before. And you've got, also I've never seen it as well, you've got stainless steel running rigging as well. It's interesting. The bend in the mast is normal, I would say. Still not an expert. And the mast is straight with a little bit of bend in it, so that's good. And the rigging for the main also, just by eye, looks really good actually. Really good, really solid. This is a really solid boat. And yeah, this is really interesting. I'll tell you more in the car afterwards. This is very interesting. So I'll chat to you more about that Sparkman and Stevens in the car. And as a little nugget, there's another boat here. It's not a sailing boat, but it's a lovely Colvic, which was the same brand as our first boat. It's called like a work boat, so it's like a commercial, can be used as a commercial boat, fishing boat. It's actually a good friend of Keith's who passed away, and it's up for 3,950. It will be taken for 3,000, so if anyone's interested, we'll have a little look around it as well. I know there's a few guys who have motorboats who watch the channel, so this may be of interest. There you go. Alright. So, inside this old Colvic. I do look at boats like this on Facebook Marketplace, just out of interest. I mean, BMC engine, loads of electronics, low runs fish finder. This is a fishing boat really. You can make a bit of money with commercial. There is your, I'm not sure actually if that's a fish finder as well. Got a rudder angle, got your radar, and then let's see what's behind this curtain. So down here, so this could be converted to a bed. I sound like a broker now. You've got a little single bed there. Very basic, but for a few grand, when you get a boat, I've heard the engine's reliable, but you can't really know until you've tried it. I have to say as well, I'm not doing this for any commission or anything. Keith was just saying it's a really good old friend of his who's passed away, and well, he needs to sell his boat, and if anyone's interested, 3,000 will take it. But yeah, I think the electronics alone are probably worth pretty much the boat. The only thing that it really needs, apart from a good clean up and a good check in the bilges, is the decks. The decks need redoing. A little bit spongy. Another little nugget. I think Keith's getting me to do his job for him. No, Westerly 33. 15k it's up for. It's not going to sell for that. Let's get the ladder on it and have a little look. I want something around 40, but we'll have a little look, show you around. Well, I mean, you can't beat a little boat tour, can you? So Westerly 33 looks pretty clean actually. I've stayed in one of these before, if you're watching Uncle Benny. Just before we bought Minky, we stayed in Benny's aft cabin on a Westerly 33, and it's actually a nice looking boat. It doesn't have those kind of Westerly lines, much more modern. And also Franz as well has a Westerly 33. So let's have a little look around it. very clean. Very clean. But this is a very kind of superficial tour, really. It's a very clean boat for 15k. If you're gonna look at something like this, you really want to like tear up the bilge boards and look at all the bulkheads. Even though these boats are just incredibly solid, a lot of these boats just never get used, or they never got used. So, or they're used over the summer a few times. So you can tell this one's hardly been used. A bit of a leak coming through the compass there. All the wood's really dry-ish. You got it's a little bit. Oh, that's alright. And if you were going to buy it, you'd want to run the engine, which I have to see. Yeah, there she is. Oh, my old friend, how are you doing? Mercedes OM636. Great engine. This one's been painted. Solid engine. Even if it's knackered, it's not knackered. You can always fix these things. Amazing. But yeah, I'm not selling this boat to you. Just showing it in case you're interested. It's been such a nice day hanging out with Keith and all the other boaty folk. I mean, I wish I could have filmed a lot of the conversations and the people that I'd met today, but you know, shoving a camera in people's face, it's not always nice. But you know, obviously not just the people who want to sell the boats, but everyone else. That Sparkman and Stevens is very interesting, like very interesting. I think the price, well, I know the price can come down from 30. I'm not going to say exactly how much, but I think it's going to sell. He's already had an offer, a low offer, which I'm not sure whether they'll accept, but I promised myself I wouldn't rush into anything, and that's a boat that I could rush into. It's just so solid. It's just a big lump of fiberglass with a big Perkins 4108 in it. It's just a workhorse. I'm going to stay halfway between here, Cardiff, and Cornwall, which is something like a 4-hour drive from here. You actually stop. I'm going to stay in a hotel, 50 quid. It hurts because I'm a cheap bastard. I'm going to stay there, and then in the morning I'm going to head over to the head office of Warren Catamarans. I'm going to learn a lot, I think. Get some interviews with Hanneke. I want to peruse the plans if they'll let me, just to have a little look and just see. Get a bit of a...
in 0.5 miles.
Thank you.
You are still on the fastest route.
Thank you, that's nice to hear. Get a reality check, get inspired. I'm really looking forward to it. And also, they're going to accommodate me because they have a bit of land there and a cabin, so I'm going to stay in the cabin for a couple of nights. Just get to know them and adventure a little bit in the area. Hopefully I can do some fishing. And yeah, really excited. Loving it. Loving this. I'm really enjoying it. Just looking at boats. I mean, even that little motorboat, which I have no interest in. It's just nice to have a look around them. Anyway, talking too much. See you on the other side. So, even though I don't have a boat anymore, I still can't get rid of the oil leaks in my life. Losing loads of oil, so I need to sort it out. And vlogging in a public place is not fun. Vlogging. Look at this influencer in his mini. So I've lost loads of oil over this trip. It's about 2 centimeters below the minimum. Minis leak oil, but not that fast, so I'm gonna have to keep topping it up over this trip. Got about 400 miles more to do. Having a car like this is, you have to be able to feel comfortable working on cars, otherwise it's the worst car to have. But I enjoy this stuff, like making little upgrades and fixing stuff.
if you paid a garage to do this stuff, it would cost a lot of money. I mean, not just topping up oil, but doing the clutch stuff, sorting out the oil leak. I hope it's a leak, I hope it's not burning it. It's just like Minky in the old days. It's exactly the same. Having a classic car, it's just like having a boat. A lot of people are surprised. So Keith was asking me how much I paid for this Mini. Well, me and my dad paid about 5 years ago £2,800, and he thought that was absolutely dirt cheap. So I think the value of them has gone up, and it should continue to go up. But I don't think we'll ever sell it. I think we'll just keep it and hope that it appreciates in value. Going to the hotel now, absolutely knackered. No way I'm sleeping in this car again. Hopefully we'll get to the hotel. Cheapest one available, of course. Got here and I was speaking to the owner, who's from Italy, and I was telling him all about our sailing trip. We were chatting for about an hour. But I absolutely love this place. It's really homely, Italian, so Italian. Did a really good job of packing. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pairs of socks and 1 pair of underpants, and of course head torch. And don't worry, little Yoshi, he's coming in later. I've left him in the car. He absolutely loves it in the car. Just while I take a shower, because I can't trust him on his own. So what should I do? Let me know in the comments. It's really tempting and it's still up for sale. I didn't want to tread on anyone's toes by explaining how much the price could be reduced, but it's reduced to a very tempting price, just a little bit outside my budget. Yeah, and also if anyone's watching this and is interested, I'm probably going to wait still, because there's a lot of boats in the world, but this one is it's one that I could buy and have no regrets. So if anyone's interested in it, then go for it. Last week I looked at that Victory 40, and the comment section looked like the lyrics to Bronski Beats. Run away, run away, run away. Yeah, it's true, it was an absolute mess and beyond my capabilities right now, but that's not to say that it's not for someone. I was looking around it thinking that it could potentially be a free boat, but I think 4 or 5 grand for that is probably fair. Yeah, I did touch on that I'm not going to get a survey, and if I was to buy, for example, the Sparkman and Stevens, I would go back again for a more destructive boat. Or it's really difficult when you're trying to look at boats, and I'm sure if you've gone to look at boats yourself, and if the owners are present, or even if not, it can be difficult, you can get a bit flustered, or I can at least anyway. So if I was to buy it, I would go back and have a much closer look. So I know a lot of people will be angered by that, but seriously think about getting one of these. It's such a good book, and it's so detailed, and anyone can understand it. I just think that if you do get a bit of a project, you can look at the boat really closely, get a feel for it as you're doing it up. It was like that with Minky. I knew for a fact that boat wasn't going to sink. All the seacocks were good, the hull was good, and I knew it myself, and it stood up to some pretty heavy weather. A massive thank you to Hafferman Engineering, Stuart Horton, Justin Adams, Irina Andrews, Robin Lan, Alan McIsaac, Homi Hassan, Clive Merchant, DJ Woolley, David Robinson, Stuart Smith, Ren Pitts, Paul Anderson, Robert Brown, Jared McLean, Craig Garrett, and Sten Akiperson for going to the PayPal over the last week. Thank you so much. Your contributions have paid for my fuel, my oil, and my lodgings for the last week. So thank you so much. Yeah, thanks to everyone who watches the videos. I know a lot of people tune out by this point, but yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for watching. Sorry about the shaky footage. I'm trying to get my camera sorted because it's just really shaky and it's difficult to edit, and it's probably difficult to watch at times. So thanks for bearing with me with that and the black spots on the screen. All right, thanks very much again. Next week I go to see the Warhams, or Hannah Caboon from James Warham Designs, and we have some really nice conversations. It was a really nice time. Check that video out, coming next Friday. Alright, see you next time.